Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where I review Netflix shows, movies, anime, a lot of Spider-Man, and of course 90s stuff. But I wanted to talk about the 90s cartoon Venom versus the Tom Hardy movie Venom. But first I thought we should talk about how evil Spider-Man gets with the black costume on. The costume that is actually the alien symbiote that later combines with Eddie Brock to make Venom. However, in the last video I made, we already covered how Spider-Man got the black costume and how it already started turning him really dark. And in this video, we're gonna talk about how it actually gets him to his maximum evil with the black suit on. So please definitely go check out that first one if you haven't yet, but if not, that's okay. This is gonna be my accurate parody of everything that happened in the 90s cartoon show with the black suit on for Spider-Man that gets him to his maximum evil. Changing Spider-Man from somebody who's a hero to someone who's feeling the same intentions of a full-blown murderous villain. Though this is my parody, it still maintains the spirit of what actually did happen. In that sense, I consider it faithful, but it still is definitely my transformative adaptation of everything that happened. Anyway, let's start. So the second episode starts off with the cops chasing Spider-Man, who's like, haha, y'all can't even touch me. Because of course, Jameson still has that $1 million bounty on his head. So it's not just cops, but even random citizens and their own vigilante militias that are trying to capture him as bounty hunters, I guess. And usually those guys aren't anything for Spider-Man, but since nothing's working, they try whatever they have. And this one guy's like, I'm gonna try to use the sonic emitter and start shooting out these sonic vibrations. And Spider-Man is like, oh, yo, that don't feel so good, bro. Oh man, I'm getting wrecked. And his suit like automatically shoots out and pulls him to safety as if autonomous to get away from the vibrations, which I suppose is meant to teach us that the vibrations are its weakness and it's just exhibiting self-preservation. The other guy starts shooting these flamethrowers too, and the suit again auto-saves Spider-Man. And I think this was supposed to teach us that fire is also its weakness, but it wasn't as clear as the sonic vibrations in the cartoon at the time, at least to us kids. Anyway, Spider-Man makes quick work of him and bounces out of there. Meanwhile, at the Daily Bugle, Jameson's starting to get off on some of the pictures that Brock brought in showing that Spider-Man was involved in the shuttle incident. Brock's like, yeah, great, glad you like it, Jameson. Now let's do a couple of lines of blow to celebrate. Then the devil himself shows up, Spider-Man, and Jameson's like, if you think wearing a new suit is gonna save you, it ain't. Bro, save me? Y'all the ones who gonna need saving from me after you guys framed me. Brock's like, look, pictures don't lie. Yeah, but you do. Jameson thinks fast and calls security. What about that rhino? Where are the pictures of that goof? We as the audience notice that Spider-Man's voice actually keeps randomly getting deeper and darker as he goes on through this whole episode. Jameson's like, what rhino? Are you freaking high? Maybe you're having some kind of stroke with that new suit. And you gonna call off that bounty right now or else I'm gonna break every bone in your goddamn body. But security shows up and is like, don't even think about it. And Spider-Man is like, think? Who's got time for just thinking? Motherfucker, I do. And then just boogies out of there. Even Jameson's like, yeah, I hate Spider-Man, but with that black suit on, he seems way worse. Spider-Man swinging away is like, damn, yo, what's up with me? I was just about to murk Brock and Jameson right there in the office, yo. Like that's my boss, yo. Anyway, Kingpin in the lab has some buyers, and Smythe is taking a piece of the Promethean X and explains that it's the most radioactive material on the planet. And one of the guys is like, well, if it's so radioactive, why don't we gotta wear protection then? And Smythe explains that it's heat activated. So they do a test with a microgram and see this huge explosion, and dude's like, damn, that rock could blow up this whole planet. And Kingpin's like, excellent. Smythe. Let's start the bidding. Spider-Man goes to his university where Dr. Connors is to ask Dr. Connors for help. But Connors is like, oh, why would I help you? You're a wanted man. Why, I ought to turn you in right now. But Spider-Man's like, the fuck, I'm a wanted, you were a lizard. Remember that, huh? I could have turned you in, but I didn't do that. I protected you then, right? Oh, fine. Well, what do you want? Look, all I need you to do, right, is analyze this suit. Like, I don't know what it is. Okay. But when Connors tries to take a sample of it, the suit retracts in self-preservation. And Connors is like, what? And Spider-Man's just like, here, go quick. And after they even cut off a piece, the suit heals itself real fast. And Connors is like, wow, what is that? Dude, why do you think I'm here right now? Oh, right, let's go analyze this with science. So Connors looks at it and is like, why, I think this thing is alive. It's got cells and everything. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, dude, don't it? So some time goes by and Connors takes out a projector to show what happens when he takes a small bit and puts it next to a host organism. And it just like completely jumps onto it, taking over it. Spider-Man is like, yo, is that what it's doing to me? Connors explains, whoa, it's actually mutating its own DNA in order to improve upon the host organism's own abilities. Host? Yo, what are you saying? I'm just a host organism to this thing? Yes, it's a symbiote, an organism that thrives by bonding with the host. So what you're saying is, I'm the host. Yes, I just told you that. But this thing, eventually, in time, it will take over completely, not just bond, but replace. I'm starting to think this thing is a sentient creature. Sentient? You mean like this thing is thinking on its own? Hey, where are you going? You need to take that thing off. It's very dangerous. And Spider-Man is like, hey yo, true, but I got some things to do first, so let me just finish that up, right? And swings out of there. At the hospital, Jameson's son wakes up like, horny rhinos stealing rocks. Jameson's like, what? Rhinos? Shoot, Spider-Man was right then. And Brock done messed me up again. So at work, Jameson starts laying into Brock like, Brock, you bag of bricks, you lied to me. No, okay, I lied. There was a rhino, but so what? It's just a random dude in a rhino Halloween costume for all we know. So what? It's called journalistic integrity, Brock. I can't have my own organization coloring the truth and leaving out facts. I told you this isn't Fox News, Brock. I told you. Your history, Brock. Super fired. I never want to see your ugly, ignorant face again. Then Jameson literally shoves Brock down to the ground like he's a complete pathetic nobody. And Brock's like, wait, please, I can get you more pictures. Jameson's like, boss, come on, Mr. Jameson. You hate the Spider-Man, and so do I. You know, I thought you wanted to get him also, so I did this for us. No, I did it for you. Jameson's like, no, you did it for yourself and to yourself. Then calls security and Brock is like, no. Jameson then, like the honest journalist that he supposedly is, does a public apology and has to retract his bounty on Spider-Man and completely blames this flub up on Eddie Brock on television to everyone in the city on news for withholding evidence and discrediting the organization. And also that he's got to now do an investigation about what really happened. Kingpin watching this is like, evidence? Investigation? That can be traced to us? Who is this Eddie Brock? We need to get rid of him. Smythe is like, I know just the guy, and I gave him some new toys. On his way home, jobless, fired again, Brock is freaking out about Spider-Man ruining his life. My job, my reputation, my freaking health. How am I gonna afford blow now? Wait, what? Eviction? Now my apartment too? Spider-Man's taking everything from me. And just at that moment, Spider-Man does a sneaky sneak into Eddie Brock's apartment to find the rest of the film that Brock took to see if there are pics of the rhino on it that can clear his name. I guess he didn't really see Jameson's retraction. Even still, it would help him in that so-called investigation. So he rummages through all of Brock's stuff. And honestly, I don't know how he thought to check this or why Brock thought to do this, but he finds the film within the pipe of the shower head. Like, how freaking random is that? Anyway, outside, this guy named the Shocker finds Brock and is like, where are the rest of the pictures? Spider-Man hears what's going on from the inside and is like, yo, I'ma see what's happening, but first I'ma boogie out this window cause I ain't getting caught for no B&E. Shocker is like, check out my new toys. Bam. See, that's why I'm the Shocker. Aren't I cool? Then Spider-Man walks up behind him and yo, check out that shadow, man. It's like he's already a straight monster already. He just grabs this goofy guy from behind and just chucks him. Brock boogies out of there and Spider-Man is like, oh snacks, it's going down, eh? And y'all didn't invite me? I'ma get a piece of this. And Shocker's like, stay out of this or I'll show you why they call me the Shocker. You said that already. Is that your only pickup line? Your game is lame, bruh. Bam! Don't interfere if you want beef with the Shocker. Beef? With you? I could eat you alive, son. You're just a snack. I'm the black costume Spider-Man. You like nothing to me. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Damn, yo, the building I was sticking to. Whoops. Haha, see? I, the Shocker, wins. Because I'm so cool. Bruh, you thought I was done? Now I'm pissed. I'm gonna stalk you into your home and beat you in your own house. So Shocker goes to his house, right, and Spider-Man follows him, and he sees a bunch of doors inside, but Spider-Man uses his spider sense to figure out which door is the right one to open, and he just rips the door right off. He sees a metal door after that, and he thinks first he thinks about climbing through a vent like he used to do before, but now he's like, wait a minute, that's old school. I'm the new black costume Spider-Man now. I don't need to do that. Inside, Shocker explains to Smythe that he doesn't have the film and he hasn't killed Eddie Brock yet, but he has, on the other hand, killed Spider-Man already. And right at that moment, Spider-Man just straight Brockashaws that metal door right down, and is like, oh hey, it's my boy Smythe who tried to murk me before. You guys having a party without me? And Smythe is like, it's an exclusive club, you're not invited. And Stalker starts trying to blast away, but Spider-Man is like, now that I got this black suit, I invite myself wherever the fuck I want to go. Ain't nobody gonna have no fun without me now. Oh no, the Promethean X. Then Spider-Man kicks Shocker down and grabs the Promethean X like, y'all were cooking up something. Then just before boogieing, he makes sure to tell them, by the way, your party sucks balls. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hey yo man, I'm losing my cool. My head's not in the game anymore. Like, I gotta cool it down. I don't know why I can't control this thing. But first, let me check out why this rock was so important to everyone. And then he starts doing some classic Peter Parker sciencey stuff. You know, science lab stuff. Science, yeah, human power. Symbiote don't make you smart, do it? Nope, this is Peter Parker. Anyway, so Parker's like, yeah, this is powerful stuff when it's heated, eh? But wait, hey yo, what's this? Oh, Back at Kingpin's lair, he's all like, "What the fuck is wrong with you two? Did you get that fellow? Eddie Brock? No. Did you at least get the evidence? No. And where is the Promethean X? Spider-Man took it. Imbeciles! Sorry, Dad. Look, I don't care what you have to do. I don't care who you have to kidnap. I don't even care who you have to kill. Blow up the city for all I care. But get my powerful rock back." Kidnapping. That's a good idea. So Smythe sends Shocker to the hospital to kidnap Jameson's son out of the hospital bed. Then Shocker goes to Jameson saying that we got business now because we got your son, and Jameson's just like, fine, what is it that you want? Meanwhile, outside, Brock is waiting to start his stalking of Jameson. The news reports that Jameson's son is kidnapped, and JJ comes on with a special message pleading to Spider-Man. "Spider-Man, wherever you are, if you can hear my voice, you have to contact me. This is a matter of life and death. We need you. I beg you." And Parker's watching this at home like, "You're playing? For real, huh? Oh, that's how it is. That's how it is. This guy put $1 million bounty on my head, probably more dollar bills than I ever hold in my whole life. You got cops and my homeboys on the street trying to murder me and capture me, and now you want something from me? I ain't no summon. But alright, you know what? Fine. I'ma do this for your boy though, not for you." What do you want, Jameson? It's looking like I gotta clean up your mess again. Don't think I forgot about the Scorpion. You literally made a supervillain just to get at me. Now I'm gonna have to deal with that goof for the rest of my life because of you. Brock listening in is like, perfect. I knew stalking JJ was a good idea. Of course, he's actually in league with Spider-Man. There's a deep state conspiracy. JJ and Spider-Man then go to this church to make a deal with Smythe, and Eddie Brock following them is like, these guys are probably purposely teaming up just to plan something to screw me over again. Look, all jokes aside, I think Brock is having a real paranoid episode supposedly. He thinks Jameson of all people is teaming up with Spider-Man and is going to a secret meeting just to make a plan or a scheme to screw him over again. Like, this guy, he needs help super bad. Anyway, so Jameson and Spider-Man meet Smythe and do the deal. Jameson's son for the Promethean X. Jameson's like, where's my son? First, give me the rock. Yo, you gotta show that Jameson's alright first, otherwise I'm gonna have to murder everyone here right now. Smythe moves aside and Jameson sees his son. Spider-Man gives Smythe the rock and Jameson takes his son away while Spider-Man says, you guys bounce, I'll watch your back. Alright, so we done here. Shocker comes out like, I got a surprise for you. I'm super cool. And Spider-Man's like, a double cross? You don't say. Yeah, this is what I'm here for. Smythe boogies and Shocker is like, this is why they call me the Shocker. And Spider-Man is like, you and your arms. I'm gonna rip off your arms and legs. Oh, you think that's gonna scare me? Pfft, I'm too cool for that. Eddie Brock shows up seeing that part of the fight is already happening and starts thinking, ho ho, Spider-Man's in trouble. Now's my chance to get him while he's distracted. But when Shocker fights Spider-Man, Spider-Man is like, is this all you got, shooting lights from your arms? You can't even touch me. And literally calls it pathetic. And he's like, let's friggin' finish this. Spider-Man jumps overhead and literally rips out a giant concrete column right out of the side of the wall and is about to crush Shocker to death. But Brock comes in like, now's my chance. You're dead, Spider-Man. In that moment, while Spider-Man was distracted, however, Shocker shoots down the column that Spider-Man was on and then remembers, oh yeah, I'm supposed to kill you, Eddie. Not cool. And Brock is like, oh snack, I'll come back later. While Spider-Man bursts out of the rubble, he's like, forget that goof. You still throwing down with me. And then he just rips out another concrete column to crush Shocker again like it's a joke. And then he's like, let me tell you how it is. And for the first time, Shocker's like, yo, this is not cool at all. This guy's too insane. I gotta get out of here. And he blasts himself a hole in the wall just so he can start running away from Spider-Man. While Spider-Man is like, I am invincible. Spider-Man is like, get back here. And honestly, you gotta keep in mind, despite my parody of an inaccurate telling, the whole series up to this point, Spider-Man has been a kind of funny one-liner guy who's sort of obnoxious, but just cool. But for the first truly serious time in the show, he sounds like a full-blown murderous guy. And as I said, Chris D. Barnes does a great job. So despite my doing the voiceover like this, at risk of me not being able to monetize this, I'm just gonna play the original audio and listen to how extreme and evil the suit makes our friendly neighborhood fun Spidey. Listen to this.
Surprise, Shocker? Let me tell it to you straight. I am invincible! Get back here, Shocker! Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
Holy fuck, that was perfect. And it's all thanks to this guy named Christopher D. Barnes, the voice actor for Spider-Man. And even though there weren't very many scenes of where Spider-Man goes full-blown dark and aggressive, it was because of him that these scenes really felt bone-chilling. And while the voice actor definitely gets a lot of praise from the fans of this cartoon show from back in the 90s, there are some YouTubers, as I say, that call this scene of his actually overacting. But I heavily disagree. I think it's perfect to show how the black symbiote really is changing Spider-Man. It's actually thanks to his excellent voice acting performance that carries the heavy load of explaining and showing how the symbiote is affecting Peter Parker's Spider-Man. I mean, how else would one sound if they're actually become angry enough to try and stalk and murder somebody? Whoever thinks this was overacting, I gotta ask them, like, have you ever heard a real fight in real life? Yeah, this wasn't overacting. It was awesome. But now, let's get back to it. Then he catches Shocker from the back and is about to crush the life out of him. But Eddie Brock is still around, like, oh, obviously the fight is a million times more intense than I can handle right now, but what do I have to live for anyway? And tackles Spider-Man from behind. And technically, if you think about it, he's saving Shocker's life for the second time. Spider-Man's like, I'm gonna save you for dessert, and webs him up and leaves him dangling in the bell tower. Bam! But you, Shocker, you're the main course. And he rips out a concrete railing and smacks Shocker's shocky things. And Shocker is like, no, those were my toys. Without them, I'm not so cool. I'm just a human. I don't actually have any powers. You'll pay. And Spider-Man catches him like the check's in the mail, baby. And Shocker sees that he's at such a great height that he will definitely die if he falls. And he's like, wait, no, I give up. You can't do this. Please, aren't you supposed to be the good guy? You can't really do this. And Spider-Man again is like, why can't I? I can do anything now. I have all the power. But then he has that classic moment where he remembers back to the big message of Uncle Ben. Back to his Parker memories, in which the symbiote could not suppress. With grape powers comes grape responsibility. Drink responsibly. Shocker's like, oh yeah, I knew you didn't have the balls to do something actually evil. I wasn't scared. That's not cool. And then the symbiote is like, nah, actually, we want this. I know we do. So I'm gonna do this for us, Parker. And bam, pushes Shocker off the side and he falls to his death. And Spider-Man's like, holy cow, did I just kill this dude? And at the last moment sends out webbing to catch Shocker, who actually in this moment snaps his neck on the way down from Spider-Man webbing him. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's Gwen Stacy, who was never in the show. Anyway, Spider-Man is like, Professor Connors was right, man. This thing is taking me out the picture right now. I need to get it off, but yo, the suit won't let me. It's like completely bonded to my being. Spider-Man almost gives up, but then the bell starts ringing in the bell tower, and from the ringing it starts hurting the suit. And then Spider-Man remembers the weakness of the sonic waves when it hit him from earlier. So he goes near the bell tower until it's weak enough that he can just get it off, and it struggles in pain, and Parker then flies out in his underwear, since of course the suit itself was all his clothes, except for his underwear, I guess. The suit is like, come on, I'm sorry, it was just one time, I can make things okay, please come back. And Parker's like, yo, why didn't I remember that the sound waves is your weakness? Did you block that out my head? Listen, baby, I wasn't playing head games. We were just busy doing fun stuff, right? We had no time for that. We had lots to do. Come on, let me just get inside you again. Parker's like, no, I thought I wanted you, but we ain't on the same wavelength. I ain't like you. Come here, baby, you belong to me now. You're mine. No, I don't consent to this. No means no. But I love you. Fine. If you don't love me back then just die! But Parker catches himself on the ledge and just watches the symbiote wither in pain from the rejection. Oh, and the sound of the bell. As it struggles, it eventually just skirts off in some crack, and Parker is like, oh, the nightmare is over. Yo, I need to get out of here, and literally just tries to run as far away as he could from the trauma that he just experienced. But in doing that, he forgot about Brock. Before I tell you what happens to Brock at Kingpin's lair, Smythe, who brings back the rock, is like, here it is. And Kingpin is like, okay, so we have a deal then? But the buyers are like, wait a minute, how we know that's the real deal? You gotta prove it again. And Kingpin's like, not a problem. So they do another test, but nothing happens. And the Kingpin wonders what happened, and Smythe checks it out and notices that the radioactivity has gone completely away, that the half-life of the radioactivity must be just a couple of days, that the rock has somehow transmuted into just ordinary lead. And the Kingpin is like, that's Spider-Man. That's why he did the deal. He knew. Anyway, back at the bell tower, like I said, the symbiote that went through the cracks actually ends up falling on Eddie Brock in one of the creepiest scenes in the show as a kid, because all we see is this shadow, a shadow of who we knew was going to be Venom. All we actually saw of him was like his boots, or feet rather, with this unseen creature vowing to finally get Spider-Man. So wow, that was maxed out evil Spider-Man. But all this combines this jilted lover that is the symbiote basically with this guy who's suffering from some kind of obsessive paranoia where he thinks Spider-Man is the cause of all the bad things in his life, even to the degree of wanting to save a guy who was sent to kill him twice. Not just that guy tried to kill him twice, but that Eddie Brock tried to save him twice because he was still more obsessive about getting Spider-Man. So now both of their anger and hatred of Spider-Man will now be aligned in one of the most monstrously evil villains of Spider-Man. Because unlike a lot of the other bad guys who have many different motivations to take over the world or do other bad things, this villain's whole motivation is entirely focused just to get at Spider-Man. Venom will become a hyper-focused monster with a single desire: to destroy every aspect of Spider-Man's life. So if you like this video and presentation, please actually click like, and of course naturally subscribe to my channel too. That way I can keep trying to make videos for people like this one. If you like this kind of video covering stuff from that show, let me know in the comments below too. Otherwise just help me out by sharing the video or tweeting it out or something like that. If not, no worries. However, in the next video we're definitely finally gonna cover actually the monster of Venom in the 90s cartoon show. Until then, I wish you peace and victory.